Hey guys, my name is Jordan Kremyr, and thanks for tuning in to this YouTube channel video. I'll start off by saying this feels weird talking into my camera phone, and so it's something new to me, and bear with me on that because I was never a huge selfie guy, never mind vlogging or videos or anything like that. So bear with me, and hopefully you enjoy the content more so than the actual, videography and whatnot. But as I said, my name is Jordan Kremyr. For those of you that don't know me, I grew up playing hockey in just outside Vancouver, British Columbia, and like any kid in Canada, you grow up and your dream is to play in the NHL. I was fortunate enough to get the opportunity to move up to Junior B and then Junior A, and then got a scholarship to play at Providence College, and then moved on to the minor leagues and played a couple of years in Alaska. I was able to play in my hometown of Abbotsford in the American Hockey League, and so now after all that's kind of said and done, right now I'm staring down 5 years of playing professionally in the minor leagues, and but man, so much has come along that journey. I'm for those of you that knew Jordan in college, you knew the guy who loved to party. I was basically one of the first guys to the bar, or maybe if I wasn't the first one, it was because I was just pre-drinking a bunch before it. But definitely one of the last to leave the bar as well. And I was a big partier, but I was just one of those fun-loving guys that like to enjoy myself and whatnot. But I was very depressed as well, though. A couple years outside of college, I was, looking at, everybody around me. I saw my friends that were successful. They're, either engaged or married, and they had houses and, good careers, good money, and their lives were on track. And here I was, I was still, living at home with my parents in the off season, just barely getting by with the money that I had. And I was a bad boyfriend. I was an unfaithful man, and I mean, there was a lot that was just kind of going on in my head, and I just got to a place where I was, getting severely depressed, and eventually was, dealing with suicidal thoughts, and I remember one night I even wrapped a belt around my neck and just looked at the man that I saw in the mirror, and I absolutely hated him. I remember just bawling my eyes out and, wanting to punch the person I saw in the mirror, but I wouldn't punch the mirror because I was too much of a wussy to do that anyways. So, um, fortunately enough for me, I had a spiritual awakening. You know, all through my life, I was never one to believe in religion or Jesus or anything like that. And if you told me to, listen to you about the Bible or something, I would have basically told you to shut up and hand me a new beer. But I was fortunate enough to come across a book called The Celestine Prophecy one day, and the book changed my life. It went into depth about how the universe is all energy, and it talked about the quantum physics and the unified field, the source field that some scientists refer to as. And I'll get more into that later when more people kind of ask questions about that. But ultimately, I started to get into practicing meditation and feeling gratitude. The law of attraction stuff that you see in The Secret, but I started to really double down, and I started to really implement it into my life, and I was having some amazing experiences, which I will share with everybody. But I got to a point where I came across this YouTube clip of some guru talking about consciousness, and he had like a turban on and everything, and so that was completely new to me. But I kind of just looked past it. I didn't think anything of it. But everything he was saying just made so much sense. It just like clicked with me, and I was like, oh yeah, like that. Okay, that makes sense now. And so I kept watching and watching, and I eventually came across that and saw that he was promoting a 21-day yoga meditation program. And so I just felt the calling, and I had to go. So after a little bit of prep time, getting ready to talk to my parents about that, I made the jump overseas with my mother, and we took this program and absolutely changed my life. I mean, just sometimes it's tough to explain with words because there it's such an experience. To be in the presence of an enlightened master, this guru, he's an enlightened being, and to see his bliss like just radiate through him, like, and it was so powerful. And since then I refer to him as my guru. He's my master, and he's here to help enrich the world, and that's what he's done for me. I mean, my life is completely different now. I'm a vegan. I don't drink alcohol. I really do try and treat everybody, the way I would like to be treated. A lot like the teachings of Jesus, obviously, and so my life is completely different. I've never been happier, and I'm so glad to finally kind of separate myself from that lifestyle of like I wanted to get up and go to work at one point and come home to sit on the couch and just watch Netflix and hang out with my family, and like that was what I thought happiness was. And because I didn't have that, and because I didn't have the big house and whatnot, I was upset and I was depressed. But man, like, I've learned that you don't need any of that crap. Like, my life now is just so much more different. And so that's what this YouTube channel is about. As you can imagine, I have a lot that I could discuss and talk to you guys about. And so I want this to be as interactive as possible. Feel free to message me on Facebook or comment on videos, and stay in touch with me, and I'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I'm an open book. I got nothing to hide with the world, and I want this to be very authentic, and I want people to know who I was and where I'm going with my life. So yeah, and regardless, even if you don't want to see these, I'm gonna post them anyways, because I know that there's a lot of information in here that's powerful for everybody, and ultimately the only reason I'm doing this is to help enrich the world. Because you look at the state of the world today, and I mean, God, we need peace now more than ever, and we need more people to stand up now more than ever, and that's just what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be a voice, a positive impact throughout the world, and I hope that maybe there's something that I can say to help enrich other people as well. So thanks for listening to this. My videos won't be this long, but I really appreciate you guys getting to know me a little bit. And again, feel free to ask me any questions that you want. And yeah, that's about it though. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll be seeing more of you. Take care.